Alright guys, here we are. This is a GPS. This is a Garmin Montana 650T. Um, it had a broken digitizer, non-functioning at all, that was brought into me. At first I thought it'd be I'm like, I don't know about that, but then I looked it up and it's like a $500 GPS, so I guess it totally is worth repairing it. I just got this GoPro over the holidays, and when I took this apart before, I didn't have it yet, so that's kind of why we're starting with it already apart and just at the separating the digitizer part. But I figured I would do something at least, and we'll get to see it going back together as well. So, but yeah, anyways, here I am using a hot air gun on a soldering rework station. I have it set to about 300 degrees, which is typically pretty much what I do whenever I'm doing phones or tablets or anything like that where I'm separating screens. Pretty much just working your way around slowly, getting it to the temperature where it's uncomfortable to touch. I mean, you don't want to go too hot because you can damage the LCD, and then you'll be replacing that as well. So that would not be a good thing. So just pretty much till it gets too dang hot to touch, and then you know you're doing a pretty good job there with the glue. The glue will start to heat up, and then you can separate it a lot easier without too much force. You can pretty much use anything. Here's just a plastic guitar pick. Credit cards work. Another thing that works pretty well is fishing line. You can actually get the line in there through both sides and just kind of pull it straight down until you separate the whole thing. That really works well on cell phones because you don't want to nick the LCD with whatever you're using, because then you'll have scratches in it, or you could actually crack that as well. So you do have to be somewhat careful. And you may have to heat it up a few times. If it starts to get too tough, apply some more heat. And here we got her all separated. Just flipping the digitizer off. It's a fairly thick digitizer. Thicker than you usually see. And some glass pieces there, just dumping them out. Be careful with them. Little tiny pieces can get stuck in your finger, and let me tell you, it drives you nuts for a while until you can finally get it out. Been there and done that. Got a piece of glass there, some tweezers, and some Goo Gone. Works well. It's not exactly glued to the LCD, it's around the outside, but you still get some sticky glass crap gets stuck on there, so I still clean it off nice anyways. Because if you don't clean it off when you put the new digitizer on, whatever is inside there, you're going to always see it, because then you can't get to it anymore to remove it. Peeling the film off the underside of the new digitizer, straight from China. Here I am pulling the front film off just to get an idea if there's any fingerprints. Sometimes there's still fingerprints in there. It's like they put the plastic on afterwards. So just making sure. And pull that adhesive cover off there. So you got the nice sticky side that you're placing down. You want to get it kind of centered. It does not go flush with either side or top and bottom. You kind of got to center in the center. You'd be able to see. You'll tell if the LCD's not quite lining up. You just need to move it a hair. We got her good, and we're just pushing some pressure down so it stays. Later on I'll heat it up again just a little bit to really get the glue to set. I'm applying some flux to the ribbon cable here. That's where the digitizer actually solders to the LCD ribbon cable, so it plugs in as one connector rather than two. Pretty simple job. Me just rigging some things up to hold it still so it doesn't move around on me. We're at about 500 degrees here. Just takes a couple seconds and that solder's melted and it sticks. Very, very quick. There, I got it partially attached, and now I just kind of go back over and make sure I got the whole thing flat down soldered nice. And then there's some tape put over it. So that is all good and soldered together. And then removing that outside plastic film. Looks nice and clean. Don't want to forget to turn our heat down, back down to 300. And then I just kind of work around for a while, just to get it somewhat warm. That way the glue kind of re-grabs itself. And here we are, we have the screen which goes back into the plastic piece there. Several screws. How I did, as you can see here, I just put a screw in diagonally. So there's only 2 screws because there's these tabs on the side that you have to pry out and on top. So just a little bit of force to pry that plastic out, and the screen will pop right down in there nice and tight. And then once that's in, you can put in the rest of your screws. They are a Torx head. Not sure on the size offhand, but everything in here is a Torx. And there we go, we got the base unit itself. I kept the screws in screw holes, just dumping them out. This is probably one of the most challenging parts. We're just getting the ribbon cables and the backlighting to plug in there, because they don't give you a lot of length. So just trying to get it all lined up and plugged in is a little tricky, but we got her. You can't really see it all that well, but I was attempting to show you. They're plugged in there. And now we're putting the battery back in and turning it on, and hopefully all is well. And so far, so good. The main thing is, do we have touch? As without touch, like before, it's useless. And we do. Just going through some random functions here to make sure it's all good, but I would say it is good to go. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. Once again, it's the Garmin Montana 650T GPS.